Hello from Southeast Ohio Solar Haven once again. How's everybody doing, y'all? Well, today I thought I would bring on a different subject matter for y'all. So, here we go. I've been asked by tons and tons of people locally, including questions on the internet, how much does it cost to go solar? Well, let's be honest. Nothing's cheap about solar. Not today, probably not tomorrow, and it hasn't been for years. But prices in the past have dropped dramatically on the equipment and on solar panels. And people has asked me, how much do I have invested in my system? Well, through some very frugal shopping and searching on the interwebs and everything, I've gotten some really good deals in the past. And so I do have a hodgepodge of panels, like sitting right over here on this little solar rack. These are, now we're gonna have to walk up to them because I forget the name of half of these panels. These are 320 watts a piece. Gives it a, as you can see, it's DYI Solar 320 watt panels, as you can see there. So I got two of these. These are pretty big panels, and they encompass this whole rack system. That's for the mini system I have inside. I call it my, how would we put it, my phone charger light system mini thing downstairs on steroids that has about 5 to 6 kilowatt worth of lithium on it for battery storage. Does it do the job for what I do? Yes, it does. I have about 4 to 5 days autonomy on that little system because of what I use it for. And it's used specifically for, you know, charging my phones, keeping power to my tablets, some LED lights, once in a while charging my DeWalt batteries for my DeWalt tools, using a soldering iron, little simple things like that. So what happens is you buy a couple of these panels here, you build a rack for it. I would say, if I remember right, I have $400 in the panels. I believe I gave $200 a piece for them. They were brand new when I got them. I bought them off of a guy locally. Well, not locally. He's about 100 miles away. Lives in Columbus, Ohio. And he had bought a pallet of panels. So he had what he had left over, so I got those two new panels and I built this rack. Now the rack itself, I probably have $200 invested in it. Welding, putting it together, the wheels and everything. So you have a $600 rack, plus you put together your battery system. You go buy 5 or 6 kilowatt worth of lithium. Now I bought mine on a good prices, so there's $600. Then you got a charge controller, add $150 for a good charge controller, so you got $750. And then you add your lithium battery. Say if you got lucky on lithium battery deal, say you got $400 or $500 in batteries there, and then your whatnot. So that right there makes a little about a $1,500. I'll say, to be on the conservative, $1,500 to $2,000 for a little small system like this. So can you imagine the total cost of this? Well, if you bought new, for sure. I got a lot of these panels, well, most of these panels are used. I believe the only panels that were bought new in this setup is these ones here with the black frame. The black frame ones, I bought them new. Oh, good Lord. This would be back in 2014, 15, I believe. It's been a while. The first panels we bought, the bigger panels, were these silver ones, and that was me and a buddy of mine went together. My buddy Brian that passed away a couple years ago, we went together and bought 12 of those, and I ended up with most of them. Then the black panels, I believe we bought 12 of those, and there was a buddy of mine in Pennsylvania, God bless his name, I wish I could remember his name right now. He does stone carvings and everything. He is a stonemason, so he knows who he is if he's watching this video. But anyway, went together on 10 of those, I believe, and I got 6 and he got 4. And this is how we do things. We go together and buy it. And I want to say that there was it was $2,000 for 10 panels. So once again, you're looking at about a price rate of $200 a piece. So basically you're looking at $1,200 worth of panels there with just a 6. Those were a different brand too. I can't remember. We'll get to the brand names here shortly. And then we got the silver ones. I got them off of Fred 480 off of eBay years ago. These things are, good Lord have mercy, I don't know how old. They're definitely 8 to 10 years old, and they've been pumping power ever since. I've got 10 of those. I think I paid $1,700 for 10 of those, if I remember right. It was a good deal. And then the big deal for me, the best deal I ever ran into, was these monster panels. These are 315 watt Canadian solar panels, the big boys down here. I've got 6 of them here, 6 up on the roof of the building. I remember this price buy because we got 12 of them for $1,200. That was a stinking good deal that we couldn't pass up. So I got those. And then the El Cheapos, my buddy, we all remember Bob the Builder, buddy. He's out in Arizona enjoying the Arizona heat once again. Lucky dog. Those are your panels from out west, the good old cheapos, the $50 to $40 panels, the used panels. I forget them once again, but Santan Solar, there we go. Those are from Santan Solar. Now, I do have one little quirk about them I didn't care for, and you could probably see this as we get closer up to the panel. It seems like this solar panel, look at the bus bars on how clean they look. Then you get over here, it looks like there's a little bit of corrosion on these bus bars, and they don't seem to put out near as much power as they're rated for. I'm saying I'm probably seeing 150 watts per panel on these 3. I get full power out of this one. I think that these were near their life, but they still put out power. Eventually I'd like to get 4 or 6 panels to replace these panels and to upgrade the wattage on this. Right now there's no sun on it, but in the evening, this is later in the evening anyway, this is winter time, so when you're at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the winter time in Ohio, forget it. We're not having it. And you know, you also got your racking systems. Now this rack, it's all made out of the Unistrut. It's 100% Unistrut. You can see how it's built. I mean, it does the job. I have 10 pieces of Unistrut in this system. That's it. In the ground, concrete. Just in case you want to know, those are 2 feet in the ground. And so I bolted them together, cut the pieces where I need it, leveled it all out. There you go. Now you go look up the price of Unistrut. 10 pieces to build. Add your bolts. Add some wiring into the process. You're going to have an average price of about $250 to $300 just to build this little rack. But this was when prices were low. Thank you, inflation. Same way with the monster system up this little hill here. I got a little grade here. You go up this little hill, and you can see I got these on big concrete pylons or stilts. It's a little messy out back here, but that's all right. We all have our own little messes. It's an organized chaos. As you can see out back here, it's all unistrut anchored down to concrete. I'm not gonna lie, there's 8 of these posts in the ground. They're all, these particularly on the ends are 4 feet in the ground. Those are 4 feet in the ground. Believe that one's 4 feet in the ground. The other one up there, the front 2 didn't get quite that deep because we ran into bedrock. Funny we didn't run into it down here, but I believe the front 2 were approximately 30 inches in the ground, and the rest are 4. So yeah, my brother helped me do that. So shout out to my brother, big brute that he is. This contraption of a solar rack, as I call it, is 100% unistrut, and there's several pieces of unistrut in this. I believe when I built this rack, go do the math, 72 bags of concrete altogether just for the concrete pylons. Well, back then concrete was, when I done this, it was $2.39 a bag. Now concrete's $5-6 a bag, so beware. The unistrut, at that time, I was getting it with my military discount. I was getting 10% off at Lowe's. Plus, I bought 4 lengths of 20-foot unistrut on Zorro.com. And at that time, I got the 4 20-foot lengths for $260. Now it's just completely outrageous. I believe when I looked at it last, it was like $700-800 for 4 of them. So buyer beware if you go to buy unistrut from Zorro.com right now. It's kind of high. The rack, well, I believe when I got done, if I remember right and added the math up, I had $2,000 in just building the rack system. And the reason why I went this way is because when I looked into building a rack system with the zip, whatever, the fancy solar system stuffs or whatever, it was going to be like $7,000-8,000. I said, I'm not wasting that type of money. Plain and simple. Not if you could do it with unistrut. And then my wiring, which I do got to get straightened up, especially down here, but it's been working fine, but that's another project I want to work on. And then I got my rat's nest coming down here, which everything is all safety and everything. And here I got my solar box. I'll open that up for you. You see that. Now I know I'm gonna get screamed at on this, but that's all right. You're loud. If I can open it, it's sealed shut. It's all on its separate bus bars and stuff here for what I got fused and everything. I'm using all the Midnight Solar breaker systems. Every system's got its grounded, and this whole system is grounded out. It doesn't look like it is, but it is. It's all grounded. I spent like 60 or 70 bucks for this enclosure on Amazon and built my own because I didn't want to spend $200 or $300 for a box, and I already had the fuses or the breakers. It's not called them fuses, it's called them breaker switches. The breakers. Now if I can put this back together one-handed. I can't do it one-handed. Oh, I got one side clipped. Well, there's a good one. Here, it's good. And it clips together, and it's a watertight enclosure. That's one of the reasons why I bought this type of enclosure. So yeah, I mean, you got your wiring, you got your unistrut. I probably, over time, I invested a lot of money. I didn't buy all my solar panels all at once. I didn't buy the unistrut all at once. Actually, when I had the unistrut building this big rack system here, I actually had probably 32 pieces of the 10-foot left over from when we moved away from the house that I was renting at the time before I bought this place up here. So that saved on the money, but you know, you got to add that in. Over time, yeah, you spend some money. I forgot to bring my keys. I have a little mini solar system in there. It's run by these two, if you can see it on top there, the two, those are the same panels as these on here. Oh, what kind of panels were these once again? Oh, okay. So, I think I can see what they are because everything's upside down. Oh, good Lord. Well, these are sharp panels for sure. These panels right here with the funky looking bus bars on them, which I thought were cool. They haven't faltered. I've had these for close to at least 10 years now, and they haven't faltered. They haven't really lost any type of power output. They've always put out the same, so been happy with those. So and so ain't these panels. The Canadian Solar, they've been doing good. Out of 12 panels, I discovered something. One panel out of 12, I discovered something, and I just noticed it today. And we all know that dreaded look when you're going to see it. Yep, the spiders. But it doesn't seem to be affecting the output of the solar array. So that's the first panel I've noticed that's been spidering on there. Can't complain. I've had those now for 6 years, and I bought those used, and for the price I gave for them, I really can't complain. You know, I basically got those for $100 a piece off of eBay. So it just depends. You could go out and buy new. You know, like I said, there's very few panels here. It was new when I bought them. So you can go buy new or used if you do your shopping right and do your research correctly. And then you got your solar charge controllers and everything. So, you know, overall, yes, actual solar equipment, you've all seen I have 4 midnight charge controllers. I have 2 Ames inverters. One's a 4 kilowatt Ames 120 volt, 24 volt pure sine wave. The other is 2 kilowatt. You know, this was when prices were lower than they are now. So yeah, and I got a PIP inverter, which was basically, I don't have nothing in it because it was given to me by Southeast Ohio Homestead. Jeff on there, I went down to his house. We had a little get together, and he goes, here, I don't understand this. He couldn't get it to work right, but I took it home. I asked him, are you sure? He goes, yeah. Plus I did buy 2 midnights off of him at a fairly decent price. So I got 4 midnights. I got 2 midnights off of him that were used that I've got. And then the biggest cost is your battery storage. So yeah, the battery storage, I was fortunate enough last year to be able to afford to buy 30 kilowatt hour worth of lithium batteries from Big Battery. So like I say, you know, go to bigbattery.com, get yourself a big battery. They worked with me fairly well. And you know, at the beginning of the video, I showed you I got a code there for them. So if you want to go purchase a battery from bigbattery.com, go there and go pick yourself out a battery, and you'll get 10% off. And by purchasing your battery at Big Battery, I will get some sort of kickback, I guess that's what they call it. It helps my channel out, so I can provide some content for you. So yeah, you could probably add it up, and it'll be probably, let's get down to bells and whistles, I probably have between $15,000 and $20,000 invested in my system over time. Has it paid for itself? Yes and no. Yes, it has paid for itself because it's helped me lower my power bills over the years. Will it pay for itself? It probably already has, to be honest with you, because of the way I built my system. I didn't build it all at once because I use it mostly off grid use, which saves me about, on the average, of $75 to $125 a month, depending on the time of the year. Is my electric bill zeroed out? Not at all. I would need more battery storage in order to do that because of the way my system is. Now, can you go out and build this? Can you go out and buy this system or this type of system and spend $15,000 to $20,000 and have a big company come in and install it for you at that price? Oh, hell no. I'm going to be straight up front with you. If you build your own, you're better off. I had talked to several solar businesses online locally, and for the same amount of power that I'm producing here with batteries and everything, I was quoted anywhere between $45,000 to $65,000. So can you build your own and be cheaper? Yes, you just got to go out there and check out other people's channels, figure out what you want to do, and be someone that understands how to build stuff. If you can't do it yourself, I don't know what to tell you. But this is how you learn and do these things. You got to do them yourself. Now, granted, I do have a couple back things in the back pocket that help me. You know, I took electronics and stuff like that in college and got a degree in stuff like that. So I understand the basic stuff of electricity and electronics and stuff like that and design stuff. But it doesn't mean that you can't do it yourself. Anybody can do it themselves and build on a cheaper dime than what these people or businesses want. So just a fair warning, you know, be careful when you go and to a company and say, well, we can put you in this grid tied system and we're going to save you X amount of money a year and your electric bill will be zeroed, blah blah blah, and it's going to cost you $0. That's bull. Your electric bill, you'll still have an electric bill for connectivity fee. Doesn't matter. You'll have a whatever fee for using your electricity. For being connected to the grid, you still got to be connected. But on top of that, you're going to be paying that solar company $200 or $300 a month instead of your power bill. There's where they get you. You know, they come to your house and say, yeah, we'll zero your power bill. You won't pay no electricity bill. And this will be, you know, blah, blah, blah. And the next thing you know, why am I paying this company $300 or $400 a month? Well, because you bought solar panels from them. And you're in contract with them for 25, 30 years at that payment. So remember that. Remember that, people. Don't ever get yourself caught up in a contract that you don't want to be in. But anyway, these are my thoughts. If you can afford to do it a little at a time, do it. Times are getting rough. Well, I understand that. If you can afford to go big all at once, oh, great. If you got $15,000, $20,000 laying around and go throw right into a solar system, build you something to help reduce your power bill, do it off grid. Don't tie the grids. It's absolutely crazy what they want for any type of startup. That's where your money's at. You know, power companies are like, yeah, it's going to cost you $2,000 for this fee and $1,500 for us to come out and send an engineer to make sure that we can connect to you and all that. You know, so they nickel and dime you to death. Makes it not worth it. It's the reason why I'm not grid tied with a contract with the power company. So there you go. Anyway, this video has been long-winded. Thought I'd grab your guys' attention today. Let you guys know, hey, you can do this yourself. I don't care who you are. You can be dumber than a sled track. I don't care. You can still build this. You can still do this yourself and build everything yourself and save on energy prices. If you're going off grid, great. Build you a 9 kilowatt system like I got right here all together. It'll suffice just perfectly. Anyway, thanks for watching. And thanks for sitting by and listening to this talk today. Hope you learned something, or if not, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, you know, click like and subscribe down there. You know, it's somewhere down there. It only hurt once, right here in that corner. Click like, subscribe, and if you go to my main page, you can go to my donut button. Hello, I like donuts. Can't have too many of them. Diabetes will kill me. Anyway, go to the corner on my front page on my YouTube. In the lower right hand corner, you can see a donate button. If you want to donate, give me a cup of coffee or maybe a case of Mountain Dew, I wouldn't mind. Anyway, have a good day. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe. And like I always say, or like Andy always says on Offgrid Garage down in Australia, stay charged.